Rinaldi. I'm the president of Metro North Railroad. We've got a great group of people here to celebrate this wonderful milestone for ADA access at Hartsdale Station. It's a beautiful cold day today, but there is a storm coming. We're going to talk about that in a little bit after we talk about the Hartsdale project. We are thrilled to be joined by some of our great elected partners: New York State Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins, Westchester County Executive George Latimer, and let's keep clapping, absolutely, New York State Assembly Member Mary Jane Shimsky, Greenberg Town Supervisor Paul Feiner, MTA Board Member Blanca Lopez, and I'm leaving other people out, but they're all here. Wave to the nice people. We're all excited to have you here. Before we get started celebrating this important capitally funded project, I want to express my thanks to the Senate Majority Leader. But for her leadership and the leadership of Governor Hochul and the other elected officials in Albany, we wouldn't have operating funds to be able to run the trains that stop at Hartsdale Station every day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins, she recognizes the value that MTA and Metro North bring to this region, and she, through her leadership, got us the funding that allows us to celebrate the service today. Thank you so much. So now on to this exciting project. Any day we make another Metro North station accessible is a great day. The work here at Hartsdale Station is now completed. 80% of our Harlem Line stations in Westchester County are fully accessible. 3 full-service stations left to go. It's an important milestone for this beautiful community. The Hartsdale Station has been around since 1914. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places 13 years ago. 1,400 customers use this station every weekday. It had to be accessible to all customers. Now it is. So let's just applaud that for a second. It is a thrilling day for us. I want to express my thanks and kudos to Jamie and the team at C&D, some of whom are here today. Thank you so much for your great work on this. And they are not slowing down on making more and more stations accessible throughout Metro North territory. We've got 3 stations in the Bronx that are part of the current capital program. Work is underway right now to make those stations accessible as well. These types of projects are really a part of our core mission, delivering excellent customer service, improving regional mobility for all of our customers, for the entire region. We cannot wait to see y'all back on the train now that the holidays are over. Metro North had a fantastic year last year. We surpassed 97% on-time performance. More of our customers are coming back, and we are thrilled to welcome them. That does not just happen on its own. It is the result of amazing work by our amazing employees. Want to celebrate them today as well. And these amazing employees, yes, thank you. And these amazing employees are actually getting ready now to deal with this storm. Unfortunately, it looks like Metro North hit the jackpot with the forecast. It looks like the city and Queens and Long Island and even coastal Connecticut are going to get mostly rain. But north of White Plains, they're expecting a major snow event, 6 to 10 inches. So we are getting ready. Even though we haven't had snow in 2 years, we haven't lost those muscles. We know how to prepare. We have snow fighting trains, tow trucks, de-icing equipment. We've outfitted our own trains to be able to allow them to run through the bad weather. The way to keep the tracks clean is to keep the trains running. We're not planning on canceling any service at this point in time, but it is possible that we'll experience delays during the height of the storm. So we always encourage our customers, check the Train Time app for the most recent conditions with respect to our service. But we're going to keep going. We will be keeping platforms clear, and you know, we're ready for the storm. And now I'm ready to turn things over to our Senate Majority Leader, Andrea Stewart-Cousins. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and thank you, President Rinaldi, and thank you to Jamie as well for doing this. And I remember when we first met, and I remember the conversation about what you were going to do for Metro North, and I remember all of us in the Westchester delegation were pressing on this accessibility here. And to be here celebrating this station, which also happens to be in my district, being accessible is really what this is all about. When I think of ADA, and I think of the fact that it's 34 years, and we are still retrofitting and renovating so that we can accommodate. I applaud this, but continue to urge that we do more and more because it matters. When people are talking about diversity, inclusion, equity, access is all of those things. There are opportunities that await if one can access transportation. We understand it's the lifeblood of how our economy grows, how our people move. We want to make sure that our carbon footprint is smaller. We've got to build our transportation access in all ways. And that's why, certainly as the majority leader, and I know my colleagues in government, in the assembly side, the county side, local government, everybody is here because we understand that there's a lot of things government can't do, but when government works together, there are a lot of great things we can do. And making sure that our transportation systems are as strong and vibrant as the people who want to use them, making them accessible and safe is what it is we will continue to dedicate our resources to, and hopefully, again, see more and more of these ribbon cuttings and celebrations. So again, thank you so much for your work and for your management, and have a wonderful and happy New Year. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, President Rinaldi and everyone from Metro North. This is a really great day for Hartsdale, and this is not just a Hartsdale issue. This is an issue of regional significance. The New York metropolitan area can only, its economy, its culture, its social amenities will only function if our mass transit continues to thrive. And mass transit is not going to thrive unless it's available to everyone. I have approximately 12 Metro North stations in my assembly district. I think that Hartsdale is the one with the biggest ridership. And when you look around the neighborhood here, you see lots of people with physical limitations. You see a large number of senior citizens who live in the mid-rise apartments all the way down East Hartsdale Avenue. Many of them, of course, suffer increased limitations on their mobility as they age, but they want to continue to thrive in the communities that they help build. We also have a lot of young families in the area. So many people have lived the life of trying to get strollers up and down steps. That's not okay. So now this train station, which is so bustling and so busy and helps so many people in this area, now finally has an elevator to make it possible for many people to use and making it more convenient and safer for other people to use. So thank you so much. I look forward to more openings like this throughout Metro North, and I look forward to the continuation of capital maintenance and improvement throughout our essential mass transit system. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator and Assemblywoman. Jamie Torres-Spring, I run MTA Construction and Development. I'm so glad and excited to be here today. And I couldn't say any better than our two amazing state legislators why we're doing these things, why we're investing in ADA accessibility for all these stations. So let me spend a little bit of time talking about what we're doing. We are at the MTA delivering ADA upgrades better, faster, and cheaper than ever before. We have a massive ADA program within our capital program, our 2020 to 2024 capital program that we're in the midst of right now. And this is what drives us. This is why we get up in the morning and work on this massive system of ours to make it accessible for all of those riders. Our riders with this station who require a stair-free path of travel now have access to that at 75% of full-service Metro North stations in New York, and as Kathy said, 80% of stations in Westchester. With this capital program, and including the completion soon of the Purdy Station ADA and Scarsdale ADA, we'll be at 80% overall of Metro North ADA accessible, and we're going to keep going after that. What did we get? And it's a huge priority for us across this whole system, and it's very important for us. it's never just about elevators when we do this work, and Hartsdale's unique environment and infrastructure shows that elevators need power, and this station didn't have enough of that. So we had to work with Con Ed to overhaul electrical capacity. We had to add significant facilities to this station, and pleased to have worked with the Parking Commission to be able to arrange for the property that we needed for that. So these projects always become very complicated, but while we're doing them, we're committed to getting as much work done to improve a station, even as we're making it accessible. Here at Hartsdale, we created a more inviting passenger waiting area by adding new benches and lead bars that include USB charging ports. We installed new LED lighting to add to the heaters that were there to make a comfortable passenger experience during the winter months. We had great collaboration with the many elected officials, the community leadership of everyone around here. I want to especially thank Greenberg Community Development and Conservation Commission and the Hartsdale Garden Club for working with us on the adjacent community garden that we needed to stage in, which we are now fully restoring together, and we're working together to beautify the station grounds in general. A lot of that work has already been done. You're not going to be able to see it right now until things blossom in the spring. A couple of quick thank yous to our great Railroads business unit, led by Anthony Tufano and Ziona Rubin, who are here today, and the great staff, Margarita Kalbitaza, Matt Hansen, Mukesh Mehta, Jayesh Mehta, our contracts manager, doing great work across this program. We also have our contractor here, PJS, Paul Scariano is here, and his team, and they're doing good work on this work, and construction management by AECOM as well. That whole team comes together to get this work done across the system, and we're very proud of what we've accomplished here. With that, I want to pass things on to my colleague, Camila Arroyo, to talk about what this means for accessibility.
Great. Good morning. Thank you, Jamie. Good morning. My name is Camila Arroyo, and I have the pleasure to serve as the MTA's very first Chief Accessibility Officer. Today is a great day here at Hartsdale, and it is a pleasure to be here with all of you celebrating the opening of this new fully accessible station, the first of many such openings that we'll be having in 2024. Majority Leader said it best: access to transportation is access to independence, which leads to access to enjoy all that the great state of New York has to offer, and New Yorkers with disabilities should not be left behind in that agenda. As a regular Metro North rider myself, I know that every new elevator or ramp unlocks new trips and new destinations for people like myself who use a mobility device. And it makes it that much easier for families who travel with strollers, visitors with luggage, or commuters with bikes to ride in the Metro North. What you see here today represents our vision of a system that is not just ADA compliant, but really provides riders with disabilities and access needs the same kind of ability to use mass transit with comfort and confidence as everybody else does. While the station had ramps at each platform before, the only way to cross the tracks was by stairs. That meant that customers who needed step-free access would need to be dropped off and picked up for each leg of their trip. That's not independence. With these new elevators, customers will have a seamless use of the overpass for the first time, empowering our customers to use this station independently and reducing the obstacles that customers have when using our service. This is what a better MTA station looks like, and I am excited to see more of this going forward. This is just the first station completion as part of the larger project that Jamie just spoke of, and we will be back on the Harlem line soon to celebrate the openings of new elevators at Scarsdale and Purdy stations, increasing Metro North access throughout Westchester. Now for some words in Spanish. Para mí es un placer estar aquí hoy celebrando esta nueva apertura de esta estación aquí en Hartsdale, dándole oportunidad para todos los usuarios que viajan en el Metro North. Para mí es un orgullo como un neoyorquino con una discapacidad, expandiendo la accesibilidad del sistema de Metro North. Todos los neoyorquinos deben tener el acceso de aprovecharse de todo lo que el gran estado de Nueva York provee para todos nosotros. Visitantes, personas que van a trabajar, personas envejecedores y esas familias con coches. Así que para mí es un placer estar aquí y seguimos la celebración con más estaciones abriendo en esta línea, la estación de Purdy y Scarsdale que vienen dándole el acceso a esos neoyorquinos. Muchas gracias. Thank you. Now, I'm pleased to ask George Latimer.
Thank you very much. I'm here on behalf of Westchester County Government as Westchester County Executive. Ken Jenkins, our Deputy County Executive. We're joined by County Legislator David Imamura, also County Legislator Jewel Williams-Johnson, and our County Legislator Ben Boykin, who represents the other side of the train tracks. Blanca Lopez, who's our Commissioner of Planning, also serves as a member of the MTA Board, and others that are involved in county government. We're here with an attitude of gratitude to thank Kathy Rinaldi and the team at MTA Metro North all together, and the other professionals who are here to make this station more accessible for people. It's important to understand how linked Westchester County's future is with New York City. You hear a lot in the media about how the suburbs are at odds with the city over different issues, and there are leaders of other suburban counties that have a different mindset than the one I'm about to express. But those of us from Westchester County understand that we would not be who we are today and the success we have if it was not for our proximity to and our cooperation with the city of New York. And the ability to access the Bronx and Manhattan on this line is an essential part of our economic development and the way that the people who find Westchester the proper place to live in and grow, and knowing that that's a symbiotic relationship with the Bronx and with Manhattan, and by extension all of New York City. It's important also to understand that what you have here today is an elevator and an access for all the reasons that we've identified, but it's also a statement that the MTA Metro North can be proud of, and I think those of us at other levels of government feel that way as important, is that this is an example of government accomplishing something. So much of the narrative today is the arguments in government, the philosophical differences that exist, and they do exist, and that's democracy. But it's important to celebrate when something specific and tangible happens. And the fact that Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins, who leads the New York State Senate, Mary Jane Shimsky in the Assembly, and her leader, Carl Hastie, come together to make sure that something specific and concrete happens in this location. It takes the men and the women who have the technical knowledge, as Jamie was talking about, with the power structure here, to be able to understand how to operate an elevator here and how to make sure that the ramps are properly done to get onto the elevator, and all the things that the user sees as important. But for those of us in policy-making positions, this is what government is about. There's a problem, there's a need. It's identified, and now with this action, it's resolved. It'll be resolved in Scarsdale. It'll be resolved in Purdy's. And we have, Mary Jane mentioned, I guess I got the whole county as my district at the moment. That's 44 train stations. And Metro North has been diligent on all three lines in trying to improve that service with the tremendous support of the state legislature and the governor. It would not happen without all of those players, and Westchester County is grateful for this moment. Thank you very much. And should I introduce the next person after me? Let me introduce Town Supervisor Paul Feiner. He is here with, I think, a majority of the town board, so this could be an illegal meeting of the Greenburgh Town Board. Mr. Supervisor.
Well, open government, since we're outside. I'm joined by Joy Haber, a new member of the town board, Ellen Hendricks, and Francis Sheehan. And I'd just like to say this is really one of the highlights of my career as a town supervisor, because for decades I've been writing to Metro North saying there's a need for an elevator. People would always call me or email me, and I'd write to Metro North and they'd say no. Then I'd write again and they'd say no. And I must have written like 50 or 100 emails until you got in, or letters, and then I was really surprised. I wrote to Metro North, and I think you had just gotten in, and then I got an email saying it's happening. I was like surprised. It reminded me when I passed the bar exam, I was afraid to ask for a recount because I was afraid that it was a mistake. But I think this is one of the most important initiatives that could happen. We have many elderly residents in Hartsdale, many disabled residents, young families with strollers, and this is an enormous quality of life enhancement. I really think of all the initiatives that I've seen government at all levels take that impact residents of Hartsdale. To me, this is among the best. And I've been on thousands of elevators, and I have to say, this is the best elevator that I've ever seen in my life. And every time I pass it and I see people using the elevator, I say, this is really great. The quality of the elevator is great, and the quality of the improvements upstairs is also great. So you've really done an amazing job as the leader of Metro North. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kathy, can you just talk? Thank you. Mark Santia from WNBC.
Yeah.
Can you just talk a little bit with the impending weather coming in?
Sure.
The challenges and the strategy of keeping fully accessible stations fully accessible with all the snow coming. Can you just explain that a little bit?
Sure. I mean, we have, as I said, we are used to snow, even though we haven't had it for a couple of years. So we are fully deployed. We have personnel who will be, checking platforms, checking ramps, ensuring that these accessible elements remain accessible. I mean, we obviously can't be everywhere at once, but we have plans in place to be able to ensure that our platforms remain clear, our ramps remain clear. We'll just make sure that the system remains accessible to all of our customers so they can get where they need to go through the bad weather.
Any other questions? Okay, great. Let's do a group photo. We're done. After group photo.
Where do you want the photo? In front of the elevator or? Okay.